Hello, everyone. Tonight we have some very special Push speakers joining us to talk about all things Push 2023. If you've never been to Push or you have questions, this is the place to be tonight. And if you can't be here, hopefully you're catching the replay. But I am excited to welcome Susan, Katrina, Nikki Guest, Nikki Hufford, Sean, and Lacey to the Push Happy Hour tonight. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
I'm excited to see you. I'm more excited to see all of you in November. We're missing a few people tonight, and I'm sad that they couldn't be here, but I'm grateful that you guys are. So we're just going to kind of talk about what Push means to you. Like several of you have been attendees before you were ever speakers or in charge of shoots or anything else. And everyone in the community, hit us with your questions. We will be answering them. So who wants to go first? Who wants to talk about Push? Are you serious?
Not everyone go all at once.
Everybody,
I'll jump in.
Oh my
God. So I was an attendee for 2 years prior to teaching, I believe. Vicki would know better than me, but been to multiple pushes. I really like it because it's a super small group, and you really get to know one each other. I think the speakers, even when I was an attendee, were always very welcoming with information. There's like no questions that won't be answered. If you ask something, we will answer it. I think the shoots are great for portfolio building. If you need to build a portfolio, this is the place to go for sure. There's tons of shooting. It's a community, and you get to know so many people. Like you see all these names on Facebook all the time and everything, and you actually get to know people and sit down and have small group conversations with them. Like I love Sean and I'll just go have a coffee sometimes and chat and catch up, and maybe 4 or 5 attendees join us. It's a great time, and I love getting to know everybody and learning from all these wonderful people as well. So
yeah, I got to meet you, Nikki, at Push at dinner one night. I just said, hey, can I sit with you?
Yep.
That was it. I was in love. I was so I'm like, this is someone that I am just excited to know, and I'm grateful for that friendship. So I'm glad you came. You took a chance
I did.
Because in the summer you're busy, and you made a commitment to your business and to the community, and showed up.
It's the best thing to do.
Yeah, to kind of echo what Nikki said, I think Push was the very first conference I ever went to. And it was when, I wasn't by any means like killing it in business. And I remember being like scared to make that investment. It was a lot of money at the time. And, it still is a lot of money. Sorry, I'll put on Do Not Disturb. And one of the things I remember walking away from, and the whole reason that I went, was kind of exactly what Nikki said. It's getting to meet those people that otherwise you really don't have a chance to meet. It's the one time that everybody is really together. We all have busy schedules. We all have families, kids, things to do. And so taking that time out of our business can be really tricky. But when you're all there, like Nikki said, it's, no more than 50 people. It's not 300, 400, 500 people. It's not, you get to know people. You get to actually talk with the speakers. You actually get to sit down with them, and they're not going to push you away. And nobody, none of the speakers here say, hey, we're too good for you or anything like that. We're not going to answer your questions. We're all open books. Except for Thomas Wynn. He's the biggest open book of them all. But, we'll sit down and we'll have conversations with you. And I think that's exactly what drew me in from the beginning, was just having that community that really you can come into and feel like you're a peer versus like a student, kind of some student speaker dynamic that you might get at some other conferences.
Now, Sean, you came to the 2016 Push. That was the very first Push, and I got to meet you.
No, I didn't.
Oh, second Push. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had major FOMO from the first one and decided to get my butt in gear and get to the second one. So yeah, the second Push I made.
Do you feel like, and anybody can chime in on this, I'm just directing it at Sean, but anyone, Do you feel like that connection ended when you left, whichever push you
No.
went to, whether it was Greencastle or Austin?
No, absolutely not. And I think like a huge reason for that is the people that you bring in and the people that you attract naturally have a giving, caring tendency to want to help others. And I think it's a very genuine place that every speaker comes from. And so I think that connection carries through even after. I mean, Thomas and I came in and we started as roommates, and by the end of, just even like having roommates, we'd already planned a destination shoot together. We were, he was catching Pokemon in between our beds.
Yes, he was.
Goes. Like we were homies at the end of it. And so, he's still somebody that I can pick up a phone and talk to, and that connection is with every attendee.
Okay, that's awesome. Lacey, yes.
Well,
Jump in, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to say, for those of us that were kind of newbies, I came into Push as I had never been to Push before, and I was going straight in as an educator. But I will say that I felt very welcoming, like a welcoming energy from everyone there. And something that I have found with some of the really large, less personal conferences is you kind of start to feel isolated if you go alone. Whereas I went alone to Push and I made quick friends of a lot of people. And, when people are going out to breakfast or lunch or whatever, there's always a group that's like, come along. And that's such a wonderful community-based thing that I experienced my first time at Push, which was just 2 years ago.
Right. You went in 2020. We met you in Austin.
Yes.
And it's funny. I'll inevitably be looking for somebody, and they're always at a restaurant with a group of people. Like that's where they're at. Or they're sitting out on a patio, whether it be in Greencastle or Austin. They're on a patio and they're talking and hanging out. Now I know that
family reunion to me.
What?
I feel like it's a family reunion, and even when it's a family reunion of people that you haven't even met in person, but you've maybe connected with online through various, chatting situations where you've asked each other questions or done an online workshop or had some sort of educational experience with someone that hasn't been in person over the past few years because we had COVID or whatnot. We've made those connections, or you've been following someone on Instagram for quite some time. You suddenly get to meet up with these folks in person. And then when you come across some people that are attending at the same time that you didn't know were attending, it's just a big family reunion. And then it's funny, there's a couple of people that are attending other things that I'm attending. That just makes it even more fun, like Angela, for instance, is going to be in Banff, and I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even realize she was going to be in Banff.
You've gone everywhere with me, Nikki.
Right. I feel like we're just like traveling buddies now.
We are, and I love that because I am going to see you in Banff in months.
Right.
I get my airfare and get my
Right.
But you came in 2019 to Greencastle, so you
right. And that's where it all started for me. And to segue back to Sean, just because I have to give him a hard time, the only reason I think he didn't come in 2016 is because he wasn't old enough to travel by himself. He's the baby of the group. He was so young.
Hey, Katrina,
getting old.
I met Katrina in 19. Like,
yeah,
we had never met, and you came, and that was it. I'm like, you gotta go.
I really connected. It's a beautiful group of people, and the camaraderie is amazing. Everybody really lifts each other up. There is not any sort of, I don't know. I've always felt just a good sense of, I don't know, family around everyone. And I also find I'm one of the ones that leads the natural light shoots, and I don't feel like there's jockeying for position with getting good shots. I think that there's plenty of opportunity, and we make sure that everybody gets that chance. And I think everybody cheers for each other when they get a really good shot. And I will say this, don't think that just because it's a natural light shot that there's not going to be some people, wink, wink, Nikki Hefford, out there with her off-camera flash stuff, because she'll be out there and she'll be like, hey, let me show you how I can show you some of this stuff. And she'll just go out there and like really kick ass and teach you some things. And the next thing you know, you're like kicking ass back at your studio using some of those tools. Not only that, but you're taking what you've learned and using it in your portfolio. So, and I'm real big on that. Like whatever I use on my shoots, I want it to be something you can use in your portfolio. So even though it's a little crazy, I still want it to be portfolio worthy.
Katrina, I met you in 19, and that was it. You've kind of been stuck with me for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. I was the carpool person. I think I picked Sean up, right? Sean,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I
And
think
it
you
was
were
that
one
the
of
year we had to wait on Danny at the airport, and then he decided just to not hop on that flight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vicky's been stuck with me ever since.
Nope, I think you've been stuck with me. But I loved, you came as an attendee. Actually, you worked behind the scenes and then as attendee, and now you're leading the natural light shoots at Push.
Yes. Yes. I'm not as styled as Nikki is. That's just not me. So we have a little bit of glam, but I can't.
Texas, though, it's got to be a little nutty.
I know. I just can't. I can't do all of that. So my brain doesn't work that way. So I'm a little bit more simple. I'm from Indiana over here. So I don't really have a theme just yet. I keep going back to the whole, we're in Texas, like you said, I want like the glitz and glam, but I want to do like a little bit of spin right now. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But I know it'll be something similar to what I would shoot here in Indiana. Like I'm very true to myself, and I want to make sure the lighting is kind of how I would shoot it here. And obviously Nikki can come around with her little flash and she can do all of that. But I like really good like natural light spots. So
well, I'm excited. Susan, you're new. You have never been to Push.
No, I'm very excited to go, though. Very excited.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you're going to do? And then we're going to dive in and talk about people's classes. And, that's where you guys can ask some questions, things like that.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, I was talking to somebody in my house. So I'm bringing 2 girls with me, and they're amazing. One is an amazing dancer, and the other one can dance, and she's also an amazing. She's only modeled for me twice so far, and I'm like totally obsessed with her. She's so good. So I'm excited for that. And I'm going to be working on like flow posing. And if you want to know how to work with a dancer, I was a dancer most of my life. I'm old now, but I still know the terminology. And I love working with dancers because I live vicariously through them because I can't do it anymore. And I also am known to use light, even though I'm leading a natural light shoot. So you may see me walking around with a light too. Shh, don't tell Vicky.
I don't care. However, we are helping attendees strive and achieve their personal goals, or maybe pushing them out of their comfort zone. And if it was something else, let's do it. Bring it.
Yeah, so I love light, honestly. I love natural light too, but sometimes with dancers, I find it's better to use a light because it carves their muscles out and shows their form. And, they like that because they look like, wow, look at my thighs, look at my thick. I look so muscular. And I'm from Jersey, so our style's a little bit edgier than most, but we are going to do something country, Texas, Jersey combo with the dance flair. So it'll be fun.
Love it.
I love it.
I'm excited to see.
Nikki, do you want to share what you're doing?
I am going to live edit for you guys for the first time ever.
You're going to what?
Live edit.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I've always been known as the light girl, I guess. So, I've done a real senior shoot in 2 hours with you guys last year with the Q&A after. I've done business and marketing. So I thought, let's edit this time. So we're going to throw something out there a little different. I will give you a hint, though. It's going to be a lot of AI editing. So because I've been really starting to get into this, and it's really sped up my workflow. Not like the generative fill thing. Like, we're not going into that. That's not ready to be used yet in business, I think. But there's a lot of really cool programs out there right now. I think that for as far as retouching and things like that, it's night and day difference. So we're going to focus on how I'm using them, how I am batch editing skin now, and I don't have to sit there and fine tune everything anymore. And then just a little bit about my normal style and why I might do this on this image, why I might do this on this image. So I'm pretty excited because it's something a little different for me to teach. So.
Yeah, and we just got a question. What is the ratio of class time to hands-on learning?
I will be all class time.
I'm sorry?
I will be all class time this time, but I'm always out on the shoot days and stuff like that too. So,
can I speak on something with Nikki? I will say I can't rave enough about Nikki Hefford. Like,
love you, Nikki.
Sorry, Sean. I love you too. But
it's gonna be as red as my
I have to always pick on Sean just because he hung out at my house for like almost a week, and we just have history with him making my brand film and hanging out at my house. But no, Nikki, you are literally like an open book, and when you are helping people, you are so committed to helping, and you just did an amazing job working with me on questions. And it was really even just some basic stuff that like I already knew, but I just kind of needed to talk it out. And Sean was like that too with me recently. Like, there were things that I just already knew. I just needed somebody to just like say, you're not far off the mark, you're really not crazy, or you are nuts. But in all honesty, like, they are there to ask questions. I mean, I'm there. I got a lot of questions last year about the way I do my destination shoots, because even though I'm not there to talk about that, I get asked that a lot because people see that I do those. So all of us are there to inform folks about whatever you want to ask. But I just love sharing that about these particular folks that I've had firsthand knowledge of working with.
Yeah, and to kind of like hone in on the answer to that question, what is the ratio of class time to hands-on? I will post the schedule below when we get there, when we get done with this. But you're in the classroom starting at 8 a.m. Okay, you break for lunch, you break for dinner, and then you come back, and it's what we have that we call the after-hour pods. Now, the after-hour pods are both shooting and business, and we'll have backdrops set up. Michelle Cuppy will be photographing again this year. She'll have a model, and you'll be able to try, and so will John Scott from Robert's Camera. We love Robert's Camera and White House Custom Color and the Photo Additive. Let's just talk about our sponsors. John will be there with gear for you to try. You don't have to worry if you have the triggers. You don't have to worry if you've never photographed with lights in studio, anything like that. Everyone is there to help you. And we also have, at that point, my business attorney travels with me, and he reviews your contracts, your model releases. He talks about, things that maybe you could change in your contract. So, and we also have Amy Nara this year in our after our pods, who will be talking about video. So you get classroom, then you get hands-on from 9 to midnight, 1-ish. It just depends on when everybody's done. And then you rinse and repeat the next day. It's intense, but it's only as intense as you want it to be. Like, a lot of people get FOMO and they are in their pajamas sitting there because they have to absorb whatever's happening. And I get that. And there's always food and people are hanging out and having drinks and enjoying themselves while they're talking and learning and networking. And then the last day, day 3, we start off with a speaker Q&A for an hour. You can ask all the speakers any questions that you want and our sponsors. And then we go out and we have 4 natural light-ish shoots. I know Josh Hanna will be using lights on his shoot this year. Susan has intimated.
I have hosted Josh before. He's amazing. Like the way he's very, very technical, but don't be scared of that. Okay. Josh, he will blow your mind what he can do with literally no modifier on one head. And you're like, how are you doing this? Like, and he makes it so easy to understand. And for sure, 100% do not miss Josh Hanna.
I met him 2 months ago when he was in Indiana, and he was amazing. And so during those 4 natural light shoots / studio lighting or off-camera flash, you will be broken up into groups of 4, and you'll get a wristband, and that's your group. It'll be a yellow wristband, a pink, a green, blue, whatever. You'll go to, say, Susan if you're the blue group, and then you will break up amongst Susan. Same with Katrina, same with Josh. And you will rotate around. In the groups last year, Katrina, were what, about 12 people each? And then you had 4 models, so you were broke up into groups of 3?
Yeah, yep, I think that's about right. I was like, I forgot. I
had
to go back.
At 50 attendees. I cannot stress that enough.
Mm-hmm.
We are not the big Be Seen conference. We are the conference that you go to network. We are smaller numbers. It's manageable. You get to meet everyone. You get to form real relationships in this. Now, I can't say that you don't at the others, but I wanted to be intimate. That was the whole goal. 50 is it. No more than 50. Let's see here. Oh, somebody else just answered that. Okay. Lacey, you want to talk about what you will be?
Yes, I'm so excited.
I guess I should say that all the presenters talk for 2 hours, with the exception of the lawyer who talks for an hour, because there's only so much law you can take in. But people were raising their hands like crazy. So yeah. Lacey.
Yes. So my class is called Creating Confidence Through Styling and Posing, and it's all about finding your client's inner model. The last time I was at Push, one of the number one things that I got, because I taught one of the after-hour pods, was, well, I can't get my clients to pose like yours. Yours must be professional models, and they're from California. So I get that. I understand. One, I live in Sacramento, not LA. Sacramento is kind of a cow town. It is not this, luxurious. We have like maybe 3 tall buildings. It's closer to like Omaha vibes, I think, than like a large metropolitan city. So all of my clients are just normal seniors. And what I heard from that was, oh, I need to chat more about how to find that within your own clients. So it shouldn't matter where your clients come from. It should matter what they want to discover within themselves. And that's something that in the last few years, I've really tried to nourish within my own business. So a lot of people ask, how do you, my clients just want, the white dress in the field. And I know, I have that, trust me, but there are ways that you can kind of go, well, let's try this on just in case. And I will say, last year I had a girl who I absolutely adore, and she was like on the fence with one of these outfits. And I was like, I think you should just try it. Let's just see. It ended up being her favorite outfit. She posts photos from that still. She loves it. So you just never know. So it's all about nurturing your clients. And I'm going to be doing a live styling and live posing with a model that I'm going to find there, because I want people to know that this is not about someone. I want to work with someone I don't know well. So I can bring all of my models, and I've done that before, but I want people to realize it's about nurturing the process and the pre-process before they even step in front of your camera. So that's what mine's about. I'm very excited about it. And I also had the privilege of attending 𝐾𝐨𝐤𝐞 Model Camp in 2020. And I am going to be instilling some really fun and cool things that I learned from her that she taught me to bring to my business. And that's been really fun.
That's awesome. And I love that, because I come from a town of 8,500 and 25 photographers. So I think I'm kind of like the normal photographer attendee. And sometimes we do get that misconception when we see you photographing all of your clients. And I love that you're going to just pick somebody's model and go from there.
Yes. And I'm very excited about that. And I will say, signing up through my affiliate link, I do have a couple of extra little goodies, like pre-prep for the class and stuff. So I'm very excited for it.
Okay. And Sean, you've been good over there.
I have. I was letting everybody else get a turn. So if you've been to Push before, you know that kind of my wheelhouse is marketing and branding. And for the first time ever, we're throwing that out the window. Wow. And we're going to go a completely other direction. And one of the things, if you've been a part of my mastermind, especially my inner circle members, you know that one of the things that I am a big, I just preach and preach and preach it is you have to have your mindset right. And so in this 2-hour class, what we're going to be diving into is how to shift your mindset and how to overcome those limiting beliefs and objections that you might not even know that you had. Lacey presented one right now, if you guys were listening, which is, well, that's great for you, Lacey, but I don't think I can do that in my town. And that's a form of a limiting belief. And it's what we're going to do in this class is basically kick it off. I think I'm going Friday. I think I was talking to Vicki. And what that's going to do is set you up for all of the rest of the other trainings, whether it be pricing, whether it be Nikki's AI editing. Oh, that'll never work for me, or that's way different, or whatever it may be. It's going to set you up with the tools to come in thinking a little bit differently, so that what you can do is take all of those other components, other pieces, and figure out, okay, how can you implement it into your business? Where might you be holding yourself back, where you can just change it up a little bit? How can you take more off of your plate so that you can actually have more time with your friends, your family? Because at the end of the day, that is what you are in business for. Is chances are, if you're like most of the photographers that I talk to, that I teach, you are in it to make you or your family's lives better. And if you are holding yourself back, if you're not pushing yourself in your business, it's all mindset related. And what we're going to do is completely revamp how you think about your business, how you approach every single thing, whether it be marketing, whether it be pricing, shooting, editing. Every single facet of your business is tied to that. And so we're going to really dive deep into that as much as we can in a 2-hour session.
Yeah, and that's great, because what I love about the speakers, they create new content. They speak about something new when they come to Push. It is not a recycled presentation. So, Sean, I love that you threw everything out, but it all ties back together. So you kind of like reeled it all back in, even though you tossed the framework a little bit.
Yeah, and can I add something about the after-hour pods too?
Sure.
What Vicki has going with the after-hour pods is really unlike any other conference that I've seen. And one of the things, especially with John Scott from Roberts, especially Matt Hodgman from White House Custom Color, who I assume will be coming from White House because he typically does. Those are two individuals that, whether you have questions about the technical stuff of lighting or lab products, photo products, that sort of thing, you know, John has been in this business since basically he could walk, it seems like. So he has years of experience of helping every single photographer and really being able to, you can tell him the problem and he has a solution for you. You can talk to Matt, who has been in the industry over 30 years, who not only has run his own studio, but now works with the top 1% of individuals at White House Custom Color. And so he sees every single market. He sees the trends that are happening, not just in your area, but literally across the entire US. And being able to have those people at your fingertips to ask questions to get answers to your business that ultimately is going to actually help you make more money and help you become more profitable, which as a business you should be doing. Do not underestimate the level of knowledge and expertise that they bring to the tables too, from a non-photography business perspective, but rather an industry perspective too.
Exactly. I go and I love White House. I love Matt. They have been here since day one. And every year I find something new that I have to have. I mean, they are so on top of everything and it's all right there for you to touch and feel and talk to them and just learn about their business. And John is your guy. He is your go-to. You can call him up, you can order, you can sell your gear. I mean, this is like your personalized big bucks, but it's John. And he always has stuff for the attendees to try out. And yeah, I can't say enough about White House or Robert's camera. Does anybody else have any questions or anything that they want to add? Katrina, Susan, Nikki? I promise you they're not this quiet at Push.
No,
Kind of
definitely not this quiet.
I'm just very excited to go and meet everybody, you know.
I'm excited to meet you. I've been admiring your work for
Well,
so
thank you.
long.
I love your work too. I'm so excited. I knew Nikki from years ago and I haven't seen her in a long time.
Oh, it's been a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always, every time I have a dancer, I'm like, go straight to Susan's page. I'm like, okay, this.
Yeah.
Susan, don't look at my recent senior post because I'm sure her toe wasn't pointed because I didn't have you to consult. So.
And that's the funny thing about dance photography is I notice a lot of, a photographer will say, wow, look at this picture. She's like caught in midair. I'm like, yeah, but her leg's not turned out, her knee's not straight, her toes not, like they don't, like dancers would not want that posted, but to a photographer, they're like, oh, this is amazing. Because it's more than they can do as any human, right? Like I can't do that anymore. So yeah.
I remember it was the second Senior Style Destination event with Brooke Daniels, Nikki, and you were so excited at the end that we had dancers. Do you remember that?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about Nikki Hefford. Yes, I was ecstatic. I'm sorry. I was definitely ecstatic because I had, for years, I was doing dancers all the time. And actually, my first Hot 100 was with dancers and was with a dancer, rather. And I was ecstatic to do a bunch of dance shots. But over the past few years, I just haven't had as many. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting some shooting in with Susan, hopefully.
And you know what the thing is too, is you have to remember, like, Sean, you said your dancer's toe might not have been pointed, but to her mom and to her, it's amazing. And you just have to bring out their best, whatever it is. Like not all dancers have the same technique or the same ability. Some are more flexible, some are more strong, some can jump, some can turn. Well, good luck catching a turn on camera, So you just have to find out what their best is and make them look the best that they can be. And their moms are going to love it anyway, because they've been watching that girl do it since they were 4 years old. So yeah,
I remember just when I would do it, because I am not a dancer, and I would be like, oh, that little thingamajig that you did, and you kind of like looked like a swan, and you were just like really graceful, and they'd be like, you mean this? And I'd be like, yeah, that. It's funny, like after I had taken so many shots, I did find myself noticing things that they were finding criticisms of themselves. And I'd say, oh, I think we need to take that shot again because your toe looked like it was turned out a little bit. I actually just did an entire company, dance company
That's
recently,
awesome.
and I just haven't posted them yet. And I was finding myself doing that same thing. So Sean, there's hope.
I just demonstrate for them. I have a great pirouette these days.
I knew
so,
it. I
yeah.
knew it.
You
Yeah.
hit your boy on your toes, it's game over.
Oh, I bet. Well, I knew that you and Thomas practiced after Taco Bell on occasion.
I actually have a PDF that I can give people who sign up under my link about how to work with a dancer and like what proper first position looks like and things like that. Because it all starts with the basic thing. So, if you know where the rib cage should be, or you know where the leg should be, or you know where the sickled foot is, that helps you. So,
someone just asked, so the models are provided? Yes, all the models are provided, and I will be posting the schedule again in this thread. So scroll down when this is over and you can see it. We also have it in the featured tab as well in the group. I just really want to thank you guys because a lot of you have been there almost since day one, and you kept coming, and then you became speakers and you saw value in the push community. It feels like family to me. Nikki Guest said it best when she said it's like a family reunion. It is. There are a lot of attendees that come back year after year because the education changes. This year it's in November in Austin, Texas, and we have another cute hotel like we do in Indiana that you feel like you're the only people there. It's like your little educational bubble and cocoon. And that's what I really wanted when there was talk of putting Push together years ago. I really wanted something that everybody could feel a part of because it's lonely in this industry. Let's be honest. But yeah, and here's everybody being real tonight, talking about, well, maybe the toe wasn't pointed correctly. Maybe it was that. Everybody has the same struggle, and at Push, we work together to bring you where you need to be with your business. And it's the perfect time to be resetting your business before we enter into 2024 this year. And there are some seats left. Some attendees will tell you need to get your ticket and get your hotel, because when the hotel block is gone, it's gone, and that price goes up.
You definitely want to stay at the hotel. I think it makes a big difference on if you're actually physically in the same space that the rest of us are compared to staying offsite. So the earlier the book, the earlier, book both your ticket for Push and for your hotel, the better.
1,000%. And to kind of echo that, Nikki, I went to a conference once and was like, oh, I'll just get an Airbnb, a few miles away. It's in Seattle. I know the city. And all of a sudden you're looking at your watch and you're like, oh, really, I got to catch an Uber. I got to go back. And meanwhile, the party's still going. People are still talking. You're still networking. There's so really
out there at like 2:00 in the morning with a group. Take the day off after you get back. Trust us. Do not try to work that next day because there is a Push hangover and it's real.
It is real.
Also, don't book a 6 a.m. flight out.
The next morning. I did that last year. We had to get back because Jason going on a guy's trip, and I had to be back in Indy by 2.
Oof.
I didn't even go to sleep. There was no point at that point.
But also the hotel in Austin is adorable. So,
there's so much good food right around.
Yeah.
The food is so good. The atmosphere, there's tons of shopping and,
There's food trucks right there. There's kava. There's every type of food you can want. You can order in. Katrina would always order in Chick-fil-A, it seemed like, when I was at the peak of my.
Are you serious? I didn't know that.
Well,
I see her in the lobby.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, I had a teenager there too, so I gotta.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Order McDonald's after I would see her food. I'd be like, oh, I don't.
Anderson had me driving to Popeyes. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because normally he wants Chick-fil-A, but he was like, "I want Popeyes."
Yeah, mine was McDonald's and the restaurant, the food truck there, and I would hop over to what was the Italian.
Shack.
Maggiano's.
Oh yeah, Shake Shack.
Oh, yes.
Mhm.
Yep, the Italian. Yeah.
You guys are making me hungry.
I know. I'm like,
Someone,
Let's not forget barbecue.
someone just asked, how do I book the hotel? The info says special rate, but no link. Once you get your push ticket, I will give you the direct contact to the event coordinator for your hotel room. And the rate is $189 a night plus tax, and you can always get a roommate.
By the way, that's really good for Austin.
It is.
That's like really good.
If people go on like hotels.com, you're not going to find a room in a place that cute
yeah, that's
for
what he
anywhere
said.
near that price. Like I can tell you as someone who is going a little early, I was like, oh my gosh, like looking every.
Mhm.
Well, I'm going to ask everyone here tonight to post your links below. Guys, book through affiliate links because the speakers get an extra kickback for this. So they'll be posting their links. I am going to do a quick run through of the classes. I'm going to start from the top from the blog post. So Josh Hanna's going to be there talking about guys or seniors too. He will also be leading a shoot on Sunday. Thomas will also be here. We're very excited for Thomas. Thomas's class is to be announced because he's still formulating his mastermind for this year.
And he will be up until 10 minutes before class time when he kindly asked me if I would like to take his speaker spot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But when he brings it, he brings it. He's just got to be ready to sprinkle the Thomas magic. And Sean's always accommodating and enabling and swaps his class time around. Sean will be talking about getting out of your own way by shifting your mindset. Kiersey from LK Photo Shoots will be start with the story. That's important, I think. I mean, all these classes are important. Nikki, editing with Nikki Hufford Photography. Editing is something that people struggle. They struggle finding their style. Carissa Davis, how integrating the teen generation into your workflow equals long-term goals. She talked about tweens and teens last year. This is going to be a different take on it. It's going to move you forward, and she's always available for questions. Emil will be more than just photos, running a value-based business. Who was present last year for Emil's talk at Push?
So good.
Oh, not a dry. Lacey, creating confidence through styling and posing, finding your client-centered model. I can't wait because I've watched Lacey in action. I've watched all of you guys in action. I've had that pleasure. So excited for that. Mari is new to Push this year, Cultivating Your Creativity 101. Michelle Cuppy will be back. Her After Hours Shooting Pods, hands-on editorial shooting. Michelle is so patient and so kind. Oh my gosh. John Scott will be back with the After Hour Pods and as a sponsor with Robert's Camera and bringing gear for you to try out and to answer all your questions. Katrina will be here again this year doing a natural light styled shoot. Last year, Katrina, I loved seeing your models and seeing how you styled them.
Thank you.
Because I felt like I could totally relate.
Uh-huh.
In my mind, I still see the cute, I think it was Carissa's daughter, that dress.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, she had shorts on.
Shorts. Okay, sorry.
Was it the disco, like the little round silver?
I love that.
That was cute.
Amy Nara will be back with Thomas and Thomas Photography. She has been every year from day one. After Our Business Pods, all things video. So she's going to walk you through the very basics of video. Maybe you don't even know how to flip to video mode on your camera. Amy is one of the most patient people you will meet. Susan, I got to meet you at the Regions event at Emil's studio back in, was that 2021, Katrina?
I think it was 2021.
It was.
Okay, so I'm excited to watch you work. I mean, you've done education with us at CEO and your videos, and you've always been so giving with your education. Paul Hadley will be back. He is my business attorney, and God love him. I had the crazy idea to do this in 19. Nikki guessed, do you remember? He had one person show up 2 nights. One person. I'm like, well, I feel it's a value, so we're going to bring him back again, and if not, we're cutting him loose. So he came back. We had the gap year with the pandemic. He came back in 2021. We talked about it more. Contracts, model releases, running your business out of your basement, what you need to be doing, running your business out of your garage, driving your clients. Should you be doing that? Hell no. Excuse my French, everyone. Lined up. So if you don't get in there early, you got to get in line and wait. And he doesn't make you take notes. He just says, turn your camera on so you can go home and review it. So definitely bring your contracts to push. That is a must. We talked about John Scott. Nikki Guest is back last year. Oh my God, Nikki. You and Carissa went over the top with your styled sessions, and Emil and Katrina. But your Vogue.
The House of Gucci.
House of Gucci. Sorry, I just said Vogue. You can tell it's
okay.
44. It's bedtime here for me.
Well, no. Well, for here it's still 110 freaking degrees in Texas.
10 degrees with humidity. Nikki can attest to that. Nikki Hufford can.
Yes. She's not lying. Yeah.
You can tell the East Coast people, Susan, Katrina, Nikki, myself, our eyes are glazing over.
No,
We're all bright-eyed and happy because it's only 6 o'clock.
It's only 5:45, and I just had a cup of coffee, so
Oh
I'm
my
ready to go.
gosh.
I mean, yeah, we're done. Katrina had her Diet Coke. I had my drink.
It's probably the reason why I might be a little more quiet about what I'm doing is because I'm so excited. I don't want to. It's kind of a surprise. I'm like,
okay, so you're not sharing tonight what you're doing.
I'm not. I decided I'm going to kind of keep it.
Well, the wardrobe you sent me yesterday, I dropped my phone. It's just freaking cute. Okay, so we've got Nikki, and we have Matthew Hodgman from White House Custom Color. And like I said, Matthew has been there since day one. I can't thank him enough. And he's so helpful. Being a photographer, being in this industry, and all that he is exposed to daily, he brings so much to the table for everyone. Everybody on the push lineup. The attendees, you learn from each other. You will pick up tidbits. You're going to find a new friend. And that's my hope for push.
Probably a lot of them, at least 50.
So guys, thank you for coming on tonight. Anyone who has questions, keep them coming. We'll all answer them. But again, if you're going to grab your ticket, it sells out every year. Don't miss out. Mm-hmm. Because I promise you, your feed is going to be full in November, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't escape it. And buy from one of the people tonight on their affiliate links. They gave up their time tonight. They'll answer your questions. All the other speakers have affiliate links too that they're sharing as well. So, we'll see you in Austin in November.
Yay!
Love to see y'all there.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks
Bye.
everybody for
Bye.
joining today.
Bye. We can go to bed.